Good morning, folks. This is Janie. Again, welcome back to my channel. And beautiful day out here. Of course, in Alabama, you never know what it's going to be like. You dress in layers and you end up start peeling those off. But let me show you what I'm doing this morning. I'm working on the rest of my peppers, getting them cooked up. These are my poblanos and my Anaheims. And this is something I got off of Amazon, and it's a little bit of you turn it and roast, and it's going to roast all the skins off of these peppers. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit more. It hooks up to a propane tank. So we get some good fire going, and it smells good. They're all roasted and starting to pop, so I'll get those skins roasted on there. This out of the way. This is how they do it in New Mexico, and it smells, but this is on a lot smaller scale. In New Mexico, they do it in the parking lot. You buy the chilies. What you do is you buy the chilies in the grocery store by like the 5-pound bag or 50-pound bag, and you take them out in the parking lot, and there's somebody out there roasting. Will roast them for you by the 50-pound bag, and the drum is like the size of a big barrel, and they'll roast them right there for you. So I wanted to get all these roasted, and then I'll let them cool. I'll let them cool down, and then I'll pull the skins off of them, and I'll can all these up. Some of them I'll lay out. Some I'll go ahead and stuff the poblanos. I'll stuff them with the cheese. Do the dip, an egg wash, and do some egg wash, and then some flour, and then that's getting hot. Some egg wash, flour, and then you'll go again and put them in breadcrumbs, and then I wrap them up and I freeze them like that, so you can freeze them, and then when it's time to cook them up, then you can just put them in the fryer and deep fry them. And they hold together a lot better once they're frozen. But then there's a couple other things, so I shut that off for a minute, and I'll get back to doing that. But I wanted to show you some things that I got. I was on Facebook, just kind of cruising Facebook, and this garage sale pops up. So this lady comes on, is advertising for it. Oh, look at the red berries in there. Those are pretty. Advertising for a garage sale. And she was showing planter boxes for sale. So I'm like, you know what? In this space right here, my husband tilled all that up, and I was going to plant right there. And then I'm going to do a gutter system there and a catchment off of this storage building. I'm going to cut some of those bushes back so it gets the full sun. And then I was going to just plant in the ground or use this area to plant with. If you looked at some of my other videos in the past, I was talking about trying to find other areas to plant in. And this little place right here just holds weeds, and it's hard to mow. There's not enough room. It's hard to mow that area. Got to weed eat it all the time. So a little change of plan. My husband's like, I just tilled all that up. I said, well, I'll work with it because I'll show you the planter boxes that I got. So he was going hunting, so we ran and grabbed these 4 of them. So they're very well built, and then they have a little cap on the top. But she said only one of them had the cap on the top, and then the rest of the lumber to finish out the caps on the top. So I've got 4 of these to get off the trailer. And let me tell you, I thought I was going to go and get the... I thought I was going to go and pick them up. I said, well, I can go and get them on Saturday. Oh, my goodness. It took all me. The lady's son was there. She was not there on Friday, her husband was having a procedure done. So she let me go ahead and come pick them up since I had my husband's help. And we brought the car hauler to put all those on. But let me tell you, folks, it is, after I started looking around and heard her story, her son was telling me that, I looked around and I saw the pasture down below, and I saw a hoop house. It didn't have it's like a greenhouse. There was no plastic on it or anything. Weeds were grown up. I saw the chicken house. I saw another pasture. And then I saw the space where she was going to had these planter boxes and stuff. And he was telling me, his mom tried, and he looked like he was in his mid-20s or something like that. And she didn't look like she was that old. So her and her husband both, he said they tried to do some homesteading, and she was going to do canning, and she was going to, he said they had a donkey at one point. They had goats, they had chickens, they had a full-blown farm going on. But with her working full-time and him working full-time also, it was hard for them to keep it up. So I guess I started looking around and was feeling some kind of way about, this was somebody's dream that just life just canceled it all out. There was no more chickens. There was no animals. The grass was over knee high. We were climbing through some pretty good brush to get to these planter boxes, and they're half done. And I guess I was kind of feeling some kind of way, and I felt so bad for her that this looked like it was a dream that is just all fallen through, or life has changed it. So I guess just me thinking that, you don't need 50 acres, you don't need 20 acres, you don't need something that is so overwhelming for you. Or you may be in and it was a perfect property, and it looked like they had fruit trees and stuff started out front, maybe a year old. So if the time isn't right for you to homestead and it doesn't work out for you, there's nothing that says you can put all that on pause and pick it up at some other point. There's nothing that says that, your dream, she's going to go back to school according to her son, and kind of put all that on hold. And I guess they're moving to a little bit smaller space, and just kind of regroup, I guess, and maybe somewhere down the road. So I just encourage everybody that if the time isn't right for you, don't give up on your dream. That at some point, like I told her son, some days I work 10 hours a day out here between harvesting and planting and working with the chickens and mowing, and just keeping this little acre here under control is sometimes get to be more than what I can handle on some days. Some days I just got to give it up and say I'm done for the day, and and tomorrow's another day, and I can do that because I'm retired. But it is a lot of work, and don't get me wrong, you can do some small. My daughter's doing some growing in some buckets and stuff, and a tomato plant and some pepper plants, and she's enjoying what she's getting off of those, but she hasn't done anything. She thinks she's going to do a larger in-ground garden and stuff, and I wish her all the luck. She's up in Kentucky, so I'm not a lot of help trying to run up there and help her with that. But just wanted to come on here and let you all know that don't give up on your dream. It may be not the right time or the right circumstances, but it'll come back around. And I can see her dream was just barren and empty, and it just kind of touched my heart. I messaged her back and thanked her so much for the planter boxes and letting me come and pick them up a day early. And her son was very helpful, helped me and my husband move all that, because we were having a hard time moving it But, and I've had to come to some hard decisions too. I quit letting the chickens free range because having to clean, they're on the porch, on the patio, and they want to be around me. And I'm in the house, so they sit there and look at me in the window. I've had to decide to keep them put up. And that made life a lot easier, even though I would rather them be out. But I'll show you what I'm doing with the chicken houses. You think it's going to get cold, and then it's not. But last year kind of caught me off guard, so I was out here covering these chicken houses in the middle of the freezing cold. So I kind of have started. Let me show you. So I've kind of started a plastic cover the end to kind of break the wind a little bit in case it gets cold. But I've left all this open because it's really not that cold. You can see I'm in short sleeves, and I dress in layers because it gets warm. Look at my pretty boys. That's my pretty boy. And he wants to kill me. That's my pretty boy right there. Yes, it is. And here's my other pretty boy. Here's my other pretty boy. Yes, my pretty boys. I can't wear yellow shoes, my little yellow Crocs in here. He hates my yellow Crocs, so he wants to attack me. No, you're not coming out. And look at what I got going on in here. I got a Brody girl. Hey, baby. I know. I'm not going to take him. I know, girl. So I don't know how many eggs she's sitting on. So she's been sitting for a few days. And here's my other one. Look at my pretty boy. You're so pretty. You're such a pretty boy. And look at this one looking like he's going to attack my feet. There's all the other girls. But you can see I got that one part covered. And as it gets cold, I'll start to add more plastic to it if I got, but this tobacco shading keeps it really keeps a lot of the wind off too, and that's mainly all you want to do is keep it draft free. My one rooster over here had some bubbling in his eyes and had like a little cough or sneezing and stuff like that, so I did the TerraGuard. This is a 12.5. So I did the TerraGuard, mixed that with some water for a couple of days, and it did very well. His eyes cleared up, and he's doing a lot better. Let me shut this water off. But let me show you what I did with my pepper plants. So I got all my pepper plants cut, and they're all stacked in these grow bags. And there's tons of them. So what I'm doing is, and all I got to do throughout the winter is just go by and hit them with a little bit of water, keep them moist and keep them watered. But some of the stuff is wilted in here because it's so hot. So I got a fan running, and I might have to open up a window. And this ground cover, I love that ground cover in my garden. So I pulled a bunch of it, and I'm going to weed eat. So with the chickens locked up, I can just open up the gates, and I don't have to close it. So I've still got beans growing, and my potatoes, and I've got everything growing there, which I showed you on a previous video. I've got my onions, so I covered my onions, and then I've got these I planted from my sets, and I've got waiting for the rest of the leaves so I can get some more leaves to compost, and I'll cover all those with leaves. And my sugar snap peas, we had a little bit of chill weather, so hopefully those are getting sweeter and sweeter. But let me show you my new space. So I got this turned. So I got this one turned long ways. So it's going to get, I'm just going to plant right here, and then all of the rest of that is going to get a lot more sun. Hopefully, if I have to cut some more tree branches, I will. But I stuck this little ring right here, and that's before I got my my planter boxes. So I'm going to measure that out. Those are 6x8, and I might pull that, and then I'm going to do a 6x8 right here. But this is my new addition, and it just looks like so much more space. And here's my gate out the other side. but it just looks like so much more space out here. I'm excited to get it started, and I got my sink set up over here, and then we had a piece of slab left over from something. You can see, let's see, the broken end of it right here, and it's really not useful for anything, but my husband put me a little table together, so that helps. And that's all my plants, so I'll amend those in the springtime. Somebody was talking about amending your beds now and then get ready for spring or whatever, and they said they did better amending their beds in the springtime right before they plant. And so I think I'll do that. I think I'll do that. And I'm hoping the co-op has the soil for sale again this year. They do $10 a truckload. Even if it's $20 a truckload, it's worth it. And that's what I filled these beds with. And I'm hoping they have it on sale, or have it on sale again this year, or have it again this next spring. So it'll be in the springtime, because it's going to cost a fortune to fill those planter beds. So that's something a little bit cheaper for me. But I'll show you the other chicken house. They're mad at me. They don't really talk to me or anything anymore. But I opened up this back so they can get some, so they can get some sun still in here. So I opened up this back. I have a little piece of corner that's not covered in a roof. But see, they bath in here and stuff, and they lay there in the sun. And so I've got all of this back covered and got that covered. So at some point, if it gets really, really cold, like we did last year, I mean, we had ice for days, which was unusual for us. So what I can do is I'll go ahead and finish out covering those. But I'm way far ahead of doing that now than what I did last year. And we did have a couple of little cold snaps, 30 degrees here and there. But for the most part, it's been pretty nice, up in the 60s and 70s, and hasn't been getting too cold yet. But I'll get some more plastic and finish those out if I need to. But if not, I mean, that breaks the wind. And then I'll show you my side coop here. So this is my so I come up in here, and this is where I store all my feed. My brooder boxes right here, of course, full of junk, because I was not expecting to have any chicks, but I'm not raising those chicks. Oh, okay, I'll leave you alone. She's up there laying her eggs. So I get a couple of eggs out of them, but the egg production has really fallen off since I don't let them free range, like they're mad at me or something. But I told my husband's like, well, we can't take care of chicks in the wintertime. I'll see if she wants to take care of them. If she takes care of, I said, I'm not taking care of them. She wanted to have them this winter, so she's going to take care of them. And it's really not that cold. I mean, there's chickens that have chicks hit the ground running, like out in the wild. So she'll take care of them, and they'll be fine. I'm thinking they may come running out in January or something like that, January, February time frame. But hopefully I have, let's see, she's sitting on the Buff Orpingtons. So there's 3 Buff Orpingtons, and then she's an Olive Egger. And then the other ones are leg bars, cream leg bars. So she'll have the blue. So I have more of the blue. And then, of course, hopefully I have some more Buff Orpingtons for my husband. He was so sad that we had to get rid of the 4 roosters, but that was just too many. And they had to go. So, but they tasted very well. They tasted very good. So nice, young, tender meat. But they were good birds and stuff. But sometimes your farm just can't support that, so, or your homestead just can't support too many roosters. So hopefully I get a lot of hens out of that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But thank you folks for coming along with me. I just wanted to touch base with you on the new planter boxes that I got, and the way I got them, I'm still feeling just so. I look at that space that she has, and know that she must just feel really, I don't know. Maybe she doesn't feel some kind of way. I never met her. I don't even know her. I messaged her on Facebook, and she wasn't even there when I went and picked up the planter boxes. And it's probably a good thing, because I would have probably even been more upset if that's something that was in her heart to do, and she didn't get it, wasn't able to accomplish that. But I know at some point, I told her good luck to her and her husband in any of their endeavors, and hopefully they don't give up. I mean, it was a beautiful space, and her ideas there looked great, and it was a good start. She just needed it. Just takes a lot of time, but don't give up on your dreams. And if you have to do it in this suburban, like here, this suburban backyard, you can always find some space to start out with it and see if it's something that you want to keep up with as far as the demand that it is. My husband took Duke hunting this weekend with me, so it kind of gave me a break, because he was just wearing me down. I'm not a baby. I'm not ready to do babies again, but my husband said he did very well and enjoyed that out there, and I'm sure he just ran wild and crazy, and ran with all the other kids and the dogs, and was just running wild out there. And I'll have to get a handle on him again this next week. But he does wear me down, and taking care of all these animals and stuff. Don't think that it's stick them out here in a pen and they're fine on their own. You've got to pay attention to them, just like the rooster down here. When I saw, the bubbles in his eyes and stuff like that, you got to be on top of stuff like that. You got to be ready to treat it and have a first aid kit ready to go. I've been giving these ones over here some leftovers and adding some Rooster Booster to it with some extra vitamins and stuff, getting ready for winter. And those are some things you got to pay attention to on a daily basis. Or, your whole flock can go downhill really quick. So I just wanted to get on here and tell people, just encourage them to keep up your dream. You can do it on a smaller scale, or, if you're not working, or you're not going to work, or you're going to be the stay-at-home person, just be prepared that it's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort that goes into it. And like I said, I wouldn't have been able to get those planter boxes. I don't know who could have helped me or whatever, but if my husband wasn't there, I may not have been able to get those planter boxes. I was going to get one at a time and put it in the truck, but I guess I had to finally ask her about size and stuff like that, and I guess I just didn't really wrap my mind around how big these were, and they're heavy. They're very heavy, so we're going to get those set and in place and get ready for soil. Like I said, in the springtime, I'm waiting to see if the co-op has all of that. It's called cotton soil or something like that. I guess they scrape off the top or something. And I hope last year was the first year I got it. I hope they have. I don't know if they have something like that every year or not, but I'm going to check and then see where I can see how I'm going to fill in. Like, you fill the bottom with logs and stuff like that if you need to fill that in. So I'll have to do that if I can't get that soil. But thank you folks for coming on a little tour with me. I wanted to show you what I was doing this morning. I know I said I probably wasn't going to film again, but like I said, I just wanted to say that, my heart goes out to people that try this, and, maybe it's not the right time for them, or they feel like it's not something that they can do on that large of a scale. And just to try it out, start out small so you don't get discouraged. You don't get discouraged very easily and end up giving up on your dream, because you can do it on a small scale and then back off if you need to. But going out and buying 20 acres, 50 acres, 100 acres, whatever, something like that is in, and you're going from having an idea in your head. If you've never raised animals, if you've never been on a farm, if you've never had a farm, that's something you may want to kind of scale back on and see if that's something really that you can handle as far as farm equipment. This isn't something like people talk about, how much money you're saving or whatever. You're not saving money. It's not a thing about saving money. It's not a thing about it being cheap or anything. These eggs aren't cheap. These houses weren't cheap to build. Lumber, the prices of lumber right now and stuff, they're not cheap. You can do it on a cheaper scale, doing the DIY pallets and getting the pallet wood and stuff. It works great. I mean, but you got to make sure you make a really good enclosure that where your animals are protected and stuff. But it's not a matter of being cheap. It's a matter of knowing where your food comes from. More and more that me and my husband eat, I'll gather up a bunch of beans. I got the sugar snap peas, and I'll do beans and then do some of the squash that I had out front. I buy grass-fed, grain-finished beef from a local farm. And the more and more we eat that, if we go out to eat, we end up with all kinds of stomach congestion, and we go back to eating some junk. Like yesterday, I broke out some Cheetos. I bought some Cheetos at the store and stuff. That's my downfall is Cheetos. I love Cheetos. And they just tear our stomach up. And all of it, a lot of it is the chemicals that they have in the food and stuff. And once you clean that out of your system, it's hard to go back to that. And you can really see any kind of rashes and digestive issues that you may be experiencing and stuff is really not from real food, if you want to call it that. I guess real food from the garden and stuff. It's and you're buying it out of the store. They're treated with so many things. Even our cheese. Becky from Acre Homestead, she buys all of her cheese in blocks from Azure Azure Standards, because there's a chemical or a powder that grated cheese is coated with so it doesn't stick together. Who thought of that? I mean, if you think about that, these chemicals and stuff to make foods convenient and how they can mess with your system. And some people may be allergic to that stuff, just like milk. Try going to a farm and getting cow's milk or goat's milk and see how different that is from chemical treated pasteurized milk. I know they say a lot of milk isn't good for consumption, but if you do get that 50 acres, that 20 acres, 50 acres, and you have a milk cow on the farm and you drink your own milk, which, I mean, you'll see all the difference in the world. It's not the actual product that you're allergic to. It's all the chemicals that are in it. So, but anyway, that goes down another rabbit hole. But if you're wanting to do this, like I said, keep up your dreams. It may be not on a large scale that you can do it right now. If you're somebody that's still working or somebody has a full-time job, has family, and you're trying to raise a family on it and stuff. So just don't give up your dreams. Don't give up on it, even if you've got to do it just maybe a couple of planter boxes, get some tomatoes and some lettuce going for the springtime and enjoy that, and then see where you're at there, and you may be able to expand a little bit or want to, or you may just want to stay right there. But I just hope that lady and her husband, if that's their dream to do that they don't give up on it. Things may be put on hold for right now, but at some point down the road, they can maybe get back into it and do what what's in their heart to do. So thank you, folks. And again, from Alabama, another beautiful day out here. I have my jacket on. I had to get rid of it. I've got to get those peppers peeled and get them put away. And I still have a lot of other peppers and stuff I need to get chopped up and put in the freezer for use in recipes and stuff throughout the winter. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for following me. And if you have any questions, let me know. And we'll see you hopefully when it's still sunny and nice. I hope we have a nice mild winter. And if not, again, like I said, looking forward to a prosperous new year. Of course, I'm trying to figure out where my garden's going to go. I'm looking forward to a prosperous new year in my garden. And any kind of tips or tricks that anybody wants to share with me, just let me know. Or if you have any questions about anything, you can ask me. And if I don't know the answer, I'll research it and see if I can find it for you. And we just move on and have a blessed Thanksgiving that's coming up here this next week. Everybody just have a wonderful, blessed Thanksgiving. And then on to Christmas, sharing with the Lord and with family and friends. Time for you to get together and reflect on just life and how how prosperous and grateful we are for this last year, and moving on to a great and prosperous year in 2025. So thank you, folks, for joining me, and we'll catch you again later. Bye-bye.